the bakery and the banter. What happens when a reserved artist meets the passionate baker next door? Fiona Blake, an American art student, is relocating to Paris with her spirited dachshund, Ruby, just in time for the city's vibrant art season. Could life get any better? How about a charming woman next door? The hitch is that her uptight neighbor is less than thrilled about dogs. In fact, she's thoroughly annoyed the moment Ruby races into her garden, knocking over potted plants. Maya Chen is a proud Parisian whose only long-standing relationship is with Daisy, her fluffy Siamese cat. With a flourishing bakery to manage and a toxic ex to avoid, the last thing Maya wants is an obnoxious American and her indiscreet dog invading her space. But fate seems insistent as their paths cross at every opportunity. When Daisy and Ruby inadvertently become friends through the adjoining gardens, and Maya's sister decides to play matchmaker, Fiona and Maya find themselves reconsidering their first impressions. A simple coffee date is set, intended to see if there might be more between them. It should be a piece of cake, right? But unexpectedly, things start going delightfully awry. Can two women from different walks of life meet in the middle and discover a bond that goes beyond mere neighbors? Best-selling lesbian romance author T.B. Markinson brings to life a delightful and quirky tale about finding companionship in a new city. Fiona and Ruby have just arrived in Paris from America, and their first meeting with Maya doesn't go as planned at all. The excitement surged through me as I imagined endless days of art gallery hopping, exploring quaint cafes, and rooftop views. What more could I ask for? A partner to share it all with, a little voice chimed quietly. I quickly silenced it. After my last relationship with Alana, I couldn't imagine opening my heart to someone again. It's just you and me, Rubes, I said, ruffling my dog's ears. Alana had never understood my artistic pursuits, dismissed them as whims. I'd often felt isolated in my passion for creating, but with Ruby by my side, I could block out the noise of past expectations. With enthusiasm, Ruby bounded toward the door, and as I unlatched it, she dashed outside too quickly for me to hold on. Whoa! Ruby! Be careful, a voice exclaimed from next door. I cringed, fully anticipating the worst. Racing outside to catch up with Ruby, I found Maya standing amidst her toppled garden pots, her eyes shooting daggers in my direction. There she was, stunning with raven black hair and fierce green eyes. Once again, I was taken aback by how easily I ended up flustered around beautiful women. Get that little monster away from my flowers, Maya demanded, frustration evident in her tone as she bent down, trying to gather the scattered soil and roots. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I hurried over, Ruby nipping playfully at the falling blossoms. Let me help you. Haven't you ever heard of leash laws? Maya shot back, her brow raised. I felt my cheeks burn. I've just arrived, and clearly, I need to work on Ruby's manners. My eyes darted to Ruby, who was blissfully unaware of the trouble she had caused. Well, that's evident, Maya muttered, tossing an annoyed glance at my eager pup, who now wagged her tail expectantly, thinking it was playtime. As I kneeled to assist Maya, I couldn't help but notice the way she commanded space with a blend of grace and irritation. Look, I really didn't mean to cause any trouble, I said, my voice quieter now, trying to diffuse the tension. I'll make this right. Maya sighed, brushing hair behind her ear, which only made me more aware of how captivating she was, even when irritated. You are quite the handful, she is, Maya stated, pointing at Ruby with an expression that was half disbelief, half humor. What can I say? She's got a lot of personality, I replied with an attempt at levity. Maya stopped for a moment, her stern face softening slightly. Just try to keep her out of my garden, okay? I promise I'll keep Ruby in check, I assured her, smiling. As I gathered the potted remnants and helped replant the flowers, a strange camaraderie began to grow, overshadowing our rocky start. Maybe we could have a do-over? I proposed bravely. You could teach me how to keep Ruby's antics from disturbing your garden, and I could introduce you to my favorite art spots in the city. Maya raised an eyebrow, considering my offer, and for a brief moment, I saw the hint of a smile tugging at her lips. You know, a little collaboration might be interesting. Perfect. Let's swap expertise, I grinned back, my heart fluttering with an unwelcome excitement. Just don't let your little monster near my flowers again, she joked lightly. Well, she does have a good eye for art, I replied playfully, and as the tension slowly melted, I couldn't help but feel that perhaps the universe was nudging me towards more than just a neighborly relationship. With that, as Ruby flopped down next to Daisy, I realized that sometimes the most unexpected connections can bloom amidst the chaos. The days following the incident in Maya's garden turned into a delightful blur. What started as a chaotic encounter gradually shifted into an unusual routine. After our initial coffee date, which had featured a surprisingly amicable discussion about dogs, art, and our respective lives, I found myself looking forward to seeing Maya more than I had anticipated. The next week, I invited Maya over to my apartment. As she stepped in, Ruby bounced excitedly around her feet, happy to see her new friend again. Okay, stay back, Ruby, I instructed with a chuckle, using the opportunity to show off my dog's growing obedience. We've worked on some training since last time. Maya laughed, her eyes sparkling. What else have you taught her? Sit. Stay. Her skepticism was lighthearted, and I couldn't help but feel that we were both easing into a more relaxed rapport. Let's just say it's a work in progress, I admitted, playfully ruffling Ruby's ears. Mama's got some work to do, Maya remarked, and I couldn't help but feel a warmth spread through my chest at the casualness of it all. We sat on the couch, a shared plate of pastries that Maya had brought from her bakery between us. French pastries really do make me feel at home here, I said, taking a bite of a flaky almond croissant. You might just turn me into a pastry addict. You haven't seen anything yet. If you think that was good, I'll have to show you our signature eclairs, Maya smiled, clearly proud of her craft. Just watch out for Ruby, she has a nose for sweets. Hey, that's my girl, I teased, catching Ruby eyeing the plate with her big brown eyes. As we chatted, I felt our conversation flow easily. We moved from discussions of bakeries to my passion for painting, and eventually, the revelation of our experiences with past relationships. I was shocked at how easily I wanted to confide in her. I was with someone who didn't appreciate my art, I shared, surprised at how much I wanted to recount my story. It felt suffocating, like I had to choose between my passion and her. In the end, it turned out I needed both. Maya listened attentively, her expression genuine as I spoke. That sounds tough. But you know, finding someone who supports you is crucial. You deserve that, she replied, her voice earnest. I didn't expect to find anyone here, I admitted with vulnerability. It's wild how things can change so quickly. Maya smiled softly. Change can be good, but it's also a bit scary. I know all about that. After my last relationship, I just focused on my bakery and my cat. I didn't think I'd be open to someone new either. So Daisy won you over? I raised an eyebrow playfully. She's a diva, she doesn't let anyone else in easily, Maya responded with a grin, clearly the fondness for her cat shone through. But she likes you and Ruby, so I guess you both passed the test. After we finished our pastries, a comfortable silence fell over us, broken only by Ruby's occasional sigh as she settled down, her head resting on Maya's foot. It felt natural, like this moment should happen, like we were crafting our own little world right there. I have an idea, I said, my heart racing as I suggested it. How about we do a little art session? You could help me choose a color scheme for a painting I've been stuck on. It might be fun to get your perspective since you have such an eye for aesthetics. Art? Really? Maya looked intrigued. Sure. I'd love to help, in any way I can. Just know I may not have the skills, but I do have opinions. Perfect. I'm ready for all the critiques, I laughed, genuinely thrilled that we were able to share our passions in such a creatively collaborative way. Over the next few days, our schedule filled with late coffee dates, laughter, and art discussions. Maya shared more about her bakery business, how she started from scratch, pouring her heart and soul into every creation. I, in turn, invited her into my world of painting, teaching her simple techniques and allowing her to try her hand at colors. We often found ourselves sharing late-night conversations under the twinkling fairy lights on my balcony while Ruby lay snuggled between us, making it impossible to ignore how comfortable we had become with one another. One evening, we decided to have a paint and pastries night at my apartment. Maya brought over an array of sweet treats, while I set up canvases and paints on the dining table. "This is going to be the best evening ever," Maya declared, her excitement infectious. "If we mess up, it'll be like performance art." "Exactly. How about we embrace the chaos?" I replied, stifling a giggle. As we painted and indulged in pastries, laughter echoed throughout my apartment. Each stroke of the brush revealed a little more of our shared creativity, and I watched in awe as Maya revealed her artistic side. "Okay, this is not half bad," she exclaimed, proudly showcasing her colorful interpretation of a cupcake. "Haha. It's actually adorable," I grinned, wiping some paint from my cheeks. "You've got a hidden talent, Maya." "Only because I have such a great instructor," she countered, her gaze lingering on me just a moment longer than necessary. With each passing evening, a sense of closeness enveloped us. I cautiously allowed myself to consider the idea that perhaps there could be something deeper between us, a connection that extended beyond friendship or mere neighborly affection. One night, as we cleaned up from a particularly lively paint session, I caught Maya watching me intently, and my breath hitched in my throat. "So what's next for us?" Maya asked innocently, but her eyes sparked with something more, something daring and adventurous. "Next?" I repeated, my heart racing. "Yeah, I mean, between the art and the pastries, I think we make a pretty good team," she said with a cheeky grin, yet I could see the seriousness behind it. "In every way." Her words hung in the air, heavy with tension, and I felt the thrill of possibility. "How should we define it then?" I asked, emboldened by the moment. "Why don't we let it unfold naturally? No labels, just, see where it takes us?" she suggested. My heart soared at the thought. "I'd like that, a lot." Just then, Ruby trotted up, interrupting our moment of possibility by clumsily nudging Maya's leg with her snout, demanding attention. We both burst out laughing, and in that instant, all the apprehensions faded away. Perhaps life in Paris, with all its unexpected twists and turns, was a canvas waiting to be filled with color, laughter, and the potential of something wonderful blooming amidst the chaos. As the weeks turned into a beautiful tapestry of laughter, art, and the sweet smells wafting from Maya's bakery, I found myself becoming increasingly captivated by the vibrant life we were building together. The close bond we had formed was unexpected yet exhilarating, allowing me to shed the reservations I had carried since my move to Paris. Each weekend, we explored the artsy corners of the city, visiting galleries and quaint little cafes. We laughed until our sides hurt and engaged in playful debates over art styles and pastry creations. There was an unspoken understanding that we were both stepping outside of our comfort zones, finding joy in each other's company. One Saturday afternoon, we ventured to the charming Montmartre district, its cobblestone streets alive with artists and musicians. "I love the energy here," I said, admiring a street performer creating exceptional chalk art on the sidewalk. "It's got so much history and creativity woven into it. A perfect spot for inspiration." Maya nodded, her eyes sparkling as she observed the scene. "Exactly. This place has that undeniable magic and vitality that comes from art." As we wandered into a small square, I spotted an easel set up with an unfinished painting. An older artist stood nearby, adding strokes of color with a brush that danced across the canvas. "What if we try our hand at painting in the street today?" I suggested impulsively. "That could be fun." Maya's face lit up. "But I must warn you, I'm not as good outside of the safety of your apartment. What if I make a mess?" "Practice makes perfect," I encouraged, already enthusiastic. "Plus, this is about enjoying ourselves." With an encouraging smile, I led us to a nearby art supply store, where we gathered some paints, brushes, and portable canvases. Excitement coursed through me as we prepared for our street painting adventure. Once we settled on a quiet corner, we began to paint, inspired by the sunshine filtering through the trees overhead. The sights and sounds around us provided an endless source of stimulation. In the midst of our creative bursts, I glanced up to catch Maya lost in her own world, her brow furrowed in concentration as she brought her vision to life. "You're amazing," I couldn't help but say. She looked up, surprised, but then relaxed into a smile that lit up her face. "Thanks, Fiona. I'm just trying to keep up with you." As the vibrant colors swirled across our canvases, I could sense that our playful camaraderie was blossoming into something even more profound. The air was electric, charged with creativity and shared passion. After a while, Maya took a step back, gazing at her canvas. "What do you think? Is it too bright?" she asked, tilting her head thoughtfully. "Not at all. It reflects your personality, bright and full of life," I replied, feeling genuine warmth wash over me. As the day drifted toward evening, the sun began to dip, casting a warm golden hue over the square. I felt emboldened by the atmosphere, my heart racing as the conversation turned to deeper subjects. "Maya," I began, brushing paint from my hands, "I really appreciate what you've brought into my life. I never expected to feel this way, especially after everything I went through back home." "I feel the same, Fiona," she admitted, her voice softening. "This connection we have, it's so refreshing, isn't it? Learning and growing together." I stepped closer, my pulse quickening. "It feels like we're both discovering aspects of ourselves we didn't even know were there." Maya nodded, her expression serious yet open. "I want to keep exploring this, whatever this is, together." Before I could reply, Ruby, who had been investigating the surroundings, bounded back to us, her tongue lolling in excitement. Maya bent down to give her some love, and in that candid moment, I realized how seamlessly our lives were intertwining. As night fell, we set our canvases to dry and made our way to a nearby cafe for dinner. Over a cozy meal, the glow from the street lamp cast a warm light around our small table, turning the evening into something intimate. "Let's celebrate," Maya said, grabbing my hand across the table. "To new beginnings and unexpected friendships. To us." I responded, a mixture of exhilaration and nervousness bubbling inside me. We clinked our glasses together, and as I looked into Maya's eyes, something shifted, a spark I couldn't ignore. With our meal finished, we strolled under the starlit sky. I caught myself stealing glances at her, the expressiveness of her laughter, the way her hair caught the wind, and the passion with which she spoke about her dreams for the bakery. "Maya, do you ever think about what's next for us? I mean, where this is headed?" I asked, trying to navigate the delicate balance of vulnerability and hopefulness. She stopped walking, her eyes searching mine, a thoughtful smile blooming on her face. "I do. And I hope it's more than just paintings and pastries," she said softly, but with conviction. "We make a great team, and I feel there's something unique here. Something special." My heart raced at her words, echoing my own sentiments. "I feel the same." "Then let's take it slow, explore this together. No pressure or expectations, just seeing where it goes," she suggested. "Absolutely," I agreed, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. "We can create our own rhythm." As we continued strolling, the air thick with possibilities, I knew that whatever lay ahead for us, whether as friends, partners, or something deeper, would be filled with inspiration, laughter, and a shared journey discovering each other and ourselves. That night, Paris felt more like home than ever, and I realized how the unexpected can lead to the most beautiful paths. As Ruby pranced ahead, eager for our adventure to continue, I took Maya's hand in mine, ready to embrace whatever was on the horizon. Together, we were creating our own masterpiece, one brushstroke at a time. As weeks turned into months, our little world in Paris became a symphony of creativity, laughter, and unexpected joy. Maya and I formed a rhythm that felt almost instinctual. We painted side by side, whether in the bustling streets of Montmartre or nestled comfortably in my apartment, and our walks through the city turned into sharings of life and dreams. Ruby continued to play the perfect companion, her antics in the park often sparking laughter that further tightened our bond. Maya flourished in her bakery, gaining recognition for her inventive pastries and warm service. I often helped out, fitting in seamlessly among flour-dusted counters and the sweet aroma of freshly baked goods. Her passion and dedication were infectious, and I found myself reveling in the warmth of her world, while she embraced mine with equal enthusiasm. On a fateful weekend, Maya and I decided to join a local outdoor art festival, filled with vibrant stalls showcasing talented artists from around the city. The sun shone bright, casting a golden light over the lively crowd buzzing with excitement. I felt the anticipation of new experiences thrumming in the air. "Are you ready to dive into the artistic chaos?" Maya asked, her eyes sparkling as we pushed through to the heart of the event. "Ready as ever," I replied, gripping her hand tightly, letting the warmth of her touch calm the nerves thrumming in my chest. We wandered from booth to booth, admiring an array of art. We exchanged playful banter, discussing which pieces spoke to us while Ruby sniffed every inch of the ground. But then, something caught my eye. A large open canvas, partially filled with splashes of color, beckoned to me. A sign nearby read, "Join our community mural. Add your mark." "Let's do it," I exclaimed impulsively, tugging Maya toward the canvas. She hesitated, glancing at the vibrant chaos. "What if I ruin it?" "Art is all about experimentation. Come on," I coaxed, my heart racing with excitement. After a brief moment of uncertainty, she smiled and nodded, her spirit ignited. Together, we picked up brushes and began adding our own strokes to the mural, laughing and chatting with fellow artists. Each stroke felt liberating, as if we were imprinting our joy and dreams onto the canvas. As we finished our contribution, we took a step back, admiring our work, a blend of bold colors, swirling forms, and symbols that represented both of our personalities. "Look at that. It feels like our journey is alive in this mural," I said breathlessly, taking in the beauty of what we had created together. Maya grinned, her eyes shining. "It reflects us, a little chaotic, but vibrant." Suddenly, I felt a rush of clarity wash over me. It hit me how much Maya had come to mean to me, not just as a friend and collaborator, but as someone I wanted to share my life with. The endless laughter, the deep conversations, the creative synergy, it was more than just a series of moments, it was the foundation of something profound. "Maya," I started, a touch of nervousness creeping into my voice. "Can we talk for a moment? About us?" She turned to me, her expression suddenly serious yet inviting. "Of course. What's on your mind?" I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of my heart in my throat. "I know we've been taking things slow, and I appreciate that so much. But these months with you have been incredible, and I can't help but feel more than friendship between us." Her eyes narrowed slightly, but only with thoughtfulness, not with trepidation. "Fiona, I feel the same way. I didn't know how to bring it up, but this connection, whatever we have, is something I don't want to lose. Then let's not hold back anymore. I want to continue exploring this together. I want to be more than just friends," I confessed, my heart pounding. Maya stepped closer, her warmth enveloping me. "More than friends. Yes, I want that too." In that moment, we both knew that our canvases, pastels, and stories were intertwined in a way that couldn't be undone. The foundation was laid for something exquisite. A rush of laughter erupted from a nearby performance, but all I could focus on was Maya's beaming face. I closed the small distance between us, feeling as if the world had narrowed down to just the two of us. "Then let's do this, together," I said, unable to contain the joy that bubbled inside me. With our fingers interlaced, we turned back toward the mural, the colorful strokes expressing the essence of our journey. Standing before our creation, I felt reassured that we were embarking on a new adventure. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a soft glow over the festival, Maya leaned in, placing a gentle kiss on my cheek. "You inspire me every day, Fiona," she murmured. I felt giddy at her words, warmth radiating through me. And you bring out the best in me. I can't wait to see where this leads. We spent the rest of the festival, painting our hearts out, reveling in our expressions, and celebrating the life we had built together. With Ruby by our sides, we joyfully interacted with fellow artists, and I knew this was just the beginning of our story, a tale filled with laughter, color, and the beautiful unpredictability of love. As I looked around at the evening festivities, surrounded by the artistry of so many, I realized that our connection had become a part of the vibrant canvas of Paris itself. We were creating something unique, bright, and everlasting together, and I was excited to embrace every moment to come. In the City of Lights, Maya and I found our spark, one that would illuminate our path as we continued to paint our shared masterpiece of life, armed with love, friendship, and endless creativity.